Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the town of Cedar Lake, December 3rd, 2025, Plan Commission work session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Parker is absent. Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Swick?
Here.
Mr. Hunley is absent. Mr. Wilkeny?
Here.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Sherry?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Eldridge is absent. Mr. Kubiak?
Here.
Ms. Heidick is present.
Just a quick note, everybody sees that Mr. Hunley isn't here. He had a little procedure done today, and he's doing well. Has to spend the night in the hospital, and he'll be home by noon tomorrow. I talked to his partner, Alice, today, and he was doing good. I told him I'd vote for him tonight.
Good deal. Glad to hear you too.
Yeah, well, we have nothing to vote on.
What's different? Right.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do that right now. All right, old business, number one, Quick Run Gas Station, Lakeview Business Park, lot 1.5. Petitioner, DBG, team 1155 Trout Wine Road, Ground Point, Indiana. Owner, Shamir Manhani, 9028 Parkside Lane, St. John, Indiana, vicinity of 13795 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. And 13775 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting approval of preliminary plat. Hi.
Good evening. My name is James Huss, here representing actually two parties, Shamir Manhani and CLBD South LLC. As we've discussed at subsequent meetings, Mr. Manhani intends to construct his brand Quick Run gas station on 1 1/2 lots of the Lakeview Business Park, PUD, otherwise known as the northeast corner of US 41 and 141st Avenue. So as we talked about in earlier meetings, at your last meeting, we discussed the consolidation of lots 1, 2, and 3 into future lots 1 and 2, changing 2 into 3 to provide a larger lot for Mr. Manhani to build his business. And at your last voting meeting, you declared that the consolidations of those lots would be considered a minor change to the PUD, which means we can now move to the otherwise administrative action of generating a primary plat, which you have to my right, which just creates the new lots, the 2 lots out of the 3. So that's what you see here. I believe you have in your packet. So we will be requesting a vote to approve that primary plat at your December 17th meeting in 2 weeks from tonight. That request is otherwise straightforward, but as this is a work session, and unfortunately, as much as I love being here, I'm double booked for the next few weeks. I did want to take advantage of tonight to talk about the development of whole, if you would entertain me. I know you have been presented the site plan, the building, landscaping plan I also brought with. These have all been submitted to the town thus far, have been in their hands for a while. Mr. Sherry was kind enough to provide his first review letter to me on Monday of this week. I hope you would agree that any of the comments he had were very minor. We intend on turning them around very quickly, possibly as early as the end of this week. That won't be up for a vote in 2 weeks. We do expect that, along with the final plat of subdivision, will be up for your approval on your January voting meeting, which I believe is, I won't hazard to guess the date, but obviously the third Wednesday in January. Given that I will unfortunately not be able to attend future meetings for this project, my colleague Max Rajewski is in the audience with me tonight. Him or Russ Posen, who I know has been before you, our Director of Engineering, for the rest of these meetings. But I did want to take advantage and just ask the Commission if there's any other specific questions, comments, concerns you had about the site that hopefully I, as I'm heading up the project, can take care of personally. So with that,
Luke, do you have anything to add, or?
Not much. James covered it pretty well. I gave him some
kind of ticky-tack comments, on the plat, and then the engineering comments were pretty minor, nothing major there, so, it seems like considering the timeline of this, he's in good shape and has plenty of time to button everything up, so,
So we should be good to go by you in 2 weeks.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Tim, anything?
No, everything looks good, it's exactly what he said, a line right down the middle of those lots and creating the two, and, as far as the site goes, I mean, I agree, I think everything is looking on track to keep moving forward as projected.
How about commissioners, anything to add?
I have a question. You said a secondary name that you're representing?
So technically, the plat is in the name of CLBD South LLC, because they are the current owners of the property. So
Okay.
they have to subdivide their property in order to be able to, once the final plat's recorded, to owner to sell the new Lot 1 to Mr. Manhani. So that's why the second name is obviously, Mr. Manhani has been in touch with them, I've been in touch with them. They know I'm here presenting a primary plat for their property.
Yeah, I just don't think I recall hearing their name before, and it's not on our agenda, so, thank you.
Nothing else?
I appreciate you bringing this, another clean project.
That's the only thing I'll add. When we covered it before, this is fully compliant with the PUD, and it is a variance-free development.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, then I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, Dynasty Home Buyers LLC. Petitioner Jake Rhodes and Steve Hardy, 200 West Glen Park Avenue, Griffith, Indiana, 46319. Owner Dynasty Real Estate, 200 West Glen Park Avenue, Griffith, Indiana, 46319. Cindy of 14445, 4th Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is seeking approval to divide one existing apartment into 2 separate units on a B1 zone property. Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Jake Rhodes, Dynasty Real Estate, 200 West Glen Park Avenue, Griffith, Indiana. I'm back. I was here a couple of weeks ago. We were discussing the exterior of the project to get approval, which we got, thank you, for roof, windows, siding, exterior, to make that property that's been sitting there on that corner for a number of years vacant, to bring it back to life. And as promised, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and here I stand. Upstairs is a 1,936 square foot unit. It is currently a single apartment unit, 1 kitchen, 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms. It's a very large unit, as you can imagine, almost 2,000 square feet. What we would propose is to turn that into 2 units. One would be 1,000 square feet, the other would be 936 square feet, which I believe meets all your criteria for a minimum of 900 square feet. We have ample parking for the units. We have ample parking for the downstairs commercial unit with 11 spots down there, and then 4 spots for the apartments upstairs as well, with an additional parking area in the back if needed. Really, I'm looking for approval here. I don't know if you guys have all the slides. I could run through a little bit of what it looks like if you're interested in that. There should be a floor plan on the inside.
I think we saw those 2 weeks ago, didn't we?
Did you guys already see them?
I think we did.
Yeah, I
You
think
did?
so too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just walked in a little bit late. Stuart Allen from Turinga Surveying. Have you seen the site plan that I submitted?
Right.
Yeah, so we got the site plan with the proper parking, and then actually I do have some copies if you guys like to see them.
Outside access on this?
Outside access, yeah, so there is an entrance for...
I got it here.
You got it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that I guess is one of the questions. There is, for the larger unit, there is a staircase that comes up through the front of the building, and then that one has an exit out the back. The secondary unit would have a deck which would have a stairs out to it. This was one of the questions, is do we need two, exit points for the second unit? Obviously, there's windows and whatnot, but is one staircase going down, is that sufficient?
Tim?
There should be two accesses, but sometimes an escape window, I'll have to look into that for 100%.
Okay.
Being that it's only that 900 square foot unit, so I would hate to give you a definite answer without looking.
Sure.
I'll have to check it out.
If need be, there's no problem putting a second,
We could do it, yeah. That was actually one of the big questions. We're gonna firewall everything to separate the units. We're gonna get them all separately metered. You know, try to do it as compliant as possible for you guys.
I think, somebody had asked about the building to the north. Did you ask about that, Tim? The building to the north, you weren't gonna be using that as part of this?
No, so that's currently like a storage
Okay.
shed. We're gonna paint it and make
Right.
it look nice.
Okay. So the footprint for these stairs on the back, are they gonna be the same as what's there?
We're gonna completely redo that deck. So the one currently is, I think it's about 6 by 8, and then it's got a staircase going down.
Okay.
But we're gonna completely redo both of those
But
decks.
is the footprint gonna remain the same?
On the decks?
The decks, yeah.
It can. What-
Okay, but you still have to add a door if Tim finds that's the case.
There is a door on the left-hand side. There is a door currently on that one.
Okay.
On the right one, there is a window right now, but we were gonna put a man door there.
Okay. The setback from the other street, Tim, 37.8. Are we getting too close to the east?
With the deck, you mean?
With the deck being too close to the road?
It's an
'Cause it gets-
unimproved road too, though.
Yeah, I got it. I got that
No,
part.
I think we're fine with that. I think we're good with that.
It's 30 feet, right? So the deck can't stick out any more than
30.
7.8 feet?
Yeah, I guess you're right, 30-foot setback, but that other building is already only 20 feet, 21 feet from the line, the metal
On
building,
this-
so
Yeah.
normally, like, we would kind of use that same,
Well, that's why I was asking about keeping the footprint.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
current deck definitely doesn't stick out further than the metal.
yeah, so I mean, I kind of normally in situations like this, Jerry, when that other building has got that 21-foot setback, and as long as they're staying that same parameter, like how this looks to me.
Or more.
Or more, right.
Right.
So, as long as they don't get too far out, but I mean, we wouldn't necessarily have to hold them to that 30-foot just because of that.
Well, do they need a waiver or variance for that?
For the setback?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at the whole thing and see
Okay.
that I don't have any real dimensions on here other than that, you know, the 37
I
foot
think,
8, and then I don't know how big that deck is, but as long as they keep that deck 7 foot 8 inches, they would be,
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
so.
I think the other question that was asked, it says Stone Drive, and I
Okay.
thought you or somebody at the podium said that you'd be blacktopping that.
We can do whatever makes you happy, as far as that goes.
I mean, we need that blacktop, I think.
Where do
Blacktop.
we
It's good.
want that? I mean,
It's-
is that drive gonna be a necessity, or since you have your adequate parking in the garage, I mean, can that just be turned to grass, or do you need a driveway there?
I don't think we necessarily need it. That's up for discussion. If we do it, you want blacktop, is that acceptable if we decide to add it?
He doesn't need a permit for blacktop, does he?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, normally, you know, we like to keep the drives and the access in one, you know, not have them all over the place, I guess, so, I mean, since he has adequate parking in the front for the units already, I would assume that that would just be eliminated and not another place to park and store stuff and.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
just kind
to
of-
pull out on the 145th.
I mean, you're kind of, normally each place has one road cut, you know, so.
Yeah,
I would say that, you know, unless there's a need for it, I think a better plan would be to just eliminate it and make it grass. I mean, unless it's a necessity of something that you
Well,
guys-
really, I guess it would be, for that would be the south unit. the smaller unit. If they parked on the driveway there, they would have to just walk all the way around versus if they did have a blacktop there, they could just walk right up the steps. So it's really a convenience thing.
And he would prefer trying to keep that there, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's possible.
Well, it's there now, so I guess at the end of the day, if it,
Yeah.
that's why I said if you guys
I mean,
need
he's
it
willing to
there.
pave it, for sure, I mean, if that's,
So your plan is when you pull in the garage, you're gonna go out the back of the garage and up the stairs to the upstairs?
Yeah, there's actually a door right on that south, right there on 145th, out of the garage. There's a man door right there as well.
Where it says concrete?
correct, that's like a steel floor.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be pulling in and out of, off of Morris, pulling in and backing out?
Well, for the ones that are, well, the two parking spots that they have that are not in the garage, are far enough away where you wouldn't have to pull out. Yes, you would pull towards Morris Street and then pull out.
But then you've got 11 spots to the north too, right?
Correct,
And you pull in and then back out?
correct. And there's space there where someone can back up and aim it before they go on to Morris Street. I pushed them as far east as I could,
Yeah.
so that they, and those are 20-foot, 10 by 26s, so, yeah.
Okay.
You know, theoretically, someone would back up, be able to look if they're turning left or turning right, depending on which way they're going on Morris. They have enough space to maneuver before they're into traffic or anything.
All right.
Unit number 1, you got the door to downstairs listed. Couple questions. Is that just the door
Oh, yeah.
to the outside then, or is there another door at the bottom of the stairs?
There's a door at the bottom of the stairs as well.
Okay, and that's just for that unit? Do they have a key to get?
Yeah, so they would
That door
go in
locked?
down at the bottom, they would have a key, and
Okay.
they go up the stairs and access the unit there in the kitchen.
Okay, now the way this looks, it says door to downstairs, it's dotted line where all the rest are solid lines to go to the outside. It's behind a closet? I'm not getting a good visual on this.
Yeah, so the closet, it opens up, the closet's kind of set back and elevated slightly
Okay.
in there, maybe about 2 or 3 feet, you know, so then you gotta go down.
So you're going under the closet?
Almost go under the closet,
Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense, thank you.
So what are we looking for in 2 weeks? For approval on splitting the upstairs?
Yes, sir,
Did you guys already get a permit to start on the outside?
we did. We
Right,
got a snowstorm, so we were anticipating getting started a little quicker, but we got delayed, but,
yeah.
yeah, we're ready to go.
You will have everything up to date that we need for 2 weeks so that we can push this through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be ready to go.
And Tim, you'll have the answer about the staircase, second
Yes,
entrance?
yeah, the second entrance, and, yeah, I'm not understanding how that second entrance is working on, unit 1 either, but I guess we can look at that later.
We need to meet over there and take a look, more than happy to do so.
The important thing here is that you're willing to do whatever the town asks you for that second entrance and exit.
Yeah, we can do it.
Correct, yeah.
And once you guys determine that, I can reflect it on the site plan, whatever outside part of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just need to know how, you know, how that door is gonna go downstairs, but then where are you gonna be when you get downstairs, you know, with the business and with the rest, using the downstairs for a third use, I guess, so.
Right.
You can't go down into a store or whatever it is.
It's its own staircase.
In the
If
doorway.
I'm coming in off the street, I'd open the door and walk right up the stairs.
Okay,
There is a door right here, another door that would go into the commercial unit, but the commercial unit also has their front door, to the right of the big window. So they could use that if they needed it, but they wouldn't probably ever use that, but it's the second
So-
entrance exit technically for the downstairs as well.
I think that's probably the original staircase, where the surprises
right,
live there.
just, I mean, the bedroom floor plan just makes no sense with that story, because you need to have 6'8" of headroom, and that's impossible with what you have drawn here.
I'd be more than happy to get some photos for you all
Yeah.
in the next one, if that would help.
No, that's good, as long as it's got a functionality, but it seems to me like you need to have a area in that bedroom, like Pete said, to get the stairway up. But it'll be fine, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So now, who's in charge of that other door to the store? Who's got the key to that?
Well, it would probably be the store downstairs. I imagine they just keep it locked.
That's a security issue for who's ever gonna rent this unit.
Well, that door at the top of the stairs would be locking, and then the door, once you get in going into the store, would be locking, so you'd just be able to access the stairway, right? Without-
Okay, so the door at the top locks too. Okay.
Yes, yep.
So you could have all this figured out within the next 2 weeks so that we could, entertain this for approval at the next meeting, correct, Tim?
Yeah, and they're, like Jerry said, you're probably gonna wanna keep that deck and that stairway in that 7'8", 7'6" range, so you already have that 30-foot setback in the back, so. It looks like you're pretty darn close, but there's no measurements, so.
I think they're 3 and 3, so I think you're only 6.
Okay, yeah, there's a, I mean, it doesn't look that big, but there's not a measurement on it, so.
And then, I'll show that, gravel area is being paved, as long as you.
Yeah,
how you want.
sure.
We'll keep the same footprint, here, basically.
Okay, any other discussion? Not, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right,
Have
couple of weeks.
everything updated. Thank you.
all, appreciate your time. Very good.
New business, number 1, Lakeview Business Park, Lot 9, petitioner Brad Zitowski, 4021 167th Avenue, Lowell, Indiana, 46353. Owner Timothy Zitowski, 3944 167th Avenue, Lowell, Indiana. Vicinity of 13721 Osborne Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting approval of site plan for a new structure and occupancy for the modern heating and cooling business. Name and, okay.
Back again.
You know the routine.
Yes, I do. James Huss again with DVG team here with Brad Zitowski, with Modern Heating and Cooling and Modern Building Contractors. Besides me is a site plan, which I believe you have as well, for Lot 9 in the same PUD, Lakeview Business Park, that we were discussing, two agenda items. This is the lot at the southeast corner of Osborne Street and 137th Place. I know some plans for this lot have been presented to you in the past, but we wanted to take the opportunity to reintroduce the project before it comes to you before any approvals in the next couple of months. At this juncture, DVG has been brought in to provide the town with their other required submittal items for any development in town. This development will not be up for approval in 2 weeks. It's just kind of an introduction, as this is a work session. But at this juncture, I wanted to turn it over to Brad to review with you his plans for the property, the business they plan to do out of the parcel, and then open it up for any initial questions commission members may have. So, Brad.
So yeah, I'm Brad Zitowski, with Modern Heating and Modern Building Contractors. We are looking to develop the site, put an FBI building on it. 50% of it we want to occupy with Modern Heating and Cooling, and then the other 50% we're looking to have future tenants, rentals of office space and warehouse space. Yeah, Modern Heating's been in business since 1963. We're currently located in Cherville, and just looking to move our business to Cedar Lake. So, looking for any questions you guys have for us.
The other 50%, is that gonna be rented to one tenant, or?
It is 3 office spaces and 5 warehouse spaces, up to. So it could potentially be one tenant for all of it, or it could be unit A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know. So it's dependent on future, what they bring in. They'd obviously have to come to you guys for approval for whatever business they want to bring, but it's not set in stone exactly what business will go in those tenant spaces.
And do you have sufficient parking for?
Yes, we have done, according to the square footage required for office space and warehouse space, we actually have 27 spaces, I believe, and we're only required about 24 for the office space and warehouse space.
And does that include your business too?
Yes.
Do you keep your trucks there, or?
No,
No?
most of them are take home. We have one truck that sits in our parking lot sometimes, but that can actually, there's probably gonna be room to park it inside the building. But,
And outside storage or anything?
nope, everything's inside.
Luke, you got any comments?
Just a caution about the multi-tenant buildings, just make sure that all the services are separate, water, sanitary. I think most of my comments will come later when James actually advances the plans, but right now I don't really have much.
And then just to speak to, certainly not set in stone, because we realize all the town has received thus far is the site plan. Obviously, the snow has not helped our verification survey efforts, but the intention is for us to do our work very fast. I think the earliest this would be up for your approval, and it would be at another work session before asking for approval. The earliest it would be is the January meeting, because this is obviously quicker than we were speaking about earlier, but there's no modifications to the lot, so this would not be any plating function. It would be, we'd be straight to site, but obviously I owe your engineer and you find folks plenty of materials before then. We're gonna do our best to rustle them up, so with the holidays and all that, but we're gonna do the best we can to be hopefully up for approval in January. That would be the earliest.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll have an idea of how many tenants you want to have too, because we'd like to know that. We don't want to leave it kind of dangling, you know. But,
So the max amount of tenants would be 3 office spaces and 5 warehouse spaces. That is set in stone. That is the max it would be, but again, one person can come in and say they
Sure.
want to rent the whole thing.
Tim, got any comments?
No, we talked about this, we had a meeting, and we did discuss the water services and trying to come up with a game plan that he could kind of adjust on the fly according to what needs to happen. Obviously, he understands that any occupant would have to come here before the plan commission to get approved to go in there, and like he said, somebody might want 1 office space and 2 warehouse spaces, or somebody might, so they basically split the building down long ways, and the south half, I believe, is for modern heating, and then the north half is for, or opposite, but, that way, so modern heating itself has the 5 bays and the 3 office spaces on their side, and then the other side is just a mirror image of that, which they're looking to be flexible depending on who, if they get interest or whoever's interested in the future, so. It fits in the concept of the PUD and, all those guidelines, so everything seems to be in order for the concept.
Okay, good. Do commissioners have any comments or discussion?
I got a question. If you have the different occupants, don't we need a handicap spot for each business, or how does that work?
It depends, you need the handicap spot for the office space, but being with the size of them, they should be good, and then the warehouse spaces don't need individual handicaps.
There's one shown on here, real small.
Right, I only seen the one.
But at the top.
Well, no, there's one on each side, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one's upside down. Are these overhead doors, these are at grade? This isn't where semis can back in?
No docks.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Look forward to seeing you again.
Appreciate it.
Number 2, caller preliminary plat. Petitioner, this law, 12632 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Owner Joshua Caller, care of this law, 12532 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake. Vicinity of 9117, 137th Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting preliminary plat for lot amendment for the Winding Creek subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nathan Vitz here on behalf of Josh Culler. We're back before you this evening after I think the last time we were here was, about a year ago. This is in Winding Creek Estates, small subdivision that was approved as a development back in 2008, 2009. When it was originally created, there was an anticipated outlot A in the middle of the development that on the record, there was discussion about potentially creating that to be a park area for this development. After all of the homes, most of the homes were installed, think there's one empty lot out there right now. There was a public park that was put in about a block away, and no monies were left by the developer for a park. The homeowner association in about 2018 said we're not gonna operate a homeowner association anymore. And in 2021 or 22, I can't recall, they approached me, they paid for a surveyor, and we deeded portions of Outlot A to the 4 lots that are there, Lot 1, 2, 3, and 4. Subsequently, Mr. Culler applied for a fence permit and to put in a pool. It was observed, a perception that because that was part of an outlot, that it needed to come back before you to amend the plat. We discussed, I think, last September-ish, Mr. Austin and I, that the cleanest thing to do would be to prepare a simple plat amendment, and that is the request before you this evening, which is to create a simple plat amendment overlay, which would be recorded at the county for clarification purposes moving forward.
And this would only be for property listed
That is correct, those
on 37th property.
Yep, the 4 lots, correct. This did involve Mr. Sherry's predecessor. I think last fall, there was a request to do the 811 and go out there and take a look at, because there's utility and drainage easements there, whether or not there'd be any negative effect with expanding these lots, so to speak. And my understanding is that there would not be. But either way, those easements would still continue to exist, and they're shown on this plat. Yep.
You said
That was
the
my
4 lot.
question. There is storm sewer infrastructure here, so as long as those easements stay there.
Yep.
It's all 4 lots, Jerry. If you look, there's 4 applications, and this cleans up the 4 pieces that were split up, and there's 4 applications, and all 4 pieces that are
This
divided
cleans
are
up
everything.
all the subdividing that was done.
Correct.
Yep.
All 4. So if you look at the beginning, there's 4 separate applications, because each owner, obviously, of the first lots is different, but
I got you.
this takes care of the entire, all 4 of them in one swoop.
Correct, and for the record, on Lot 2, one of the owners of record did pass away in the last 4 months. So when we get to the final, that's going to be recorded. We'll just need to make sure that that is updated. It was a ownership with the rights of survivorship, so we'll just have to get that updated. We're working with Stuart for this document. I think one of the questions Dave and I discussed this about 2-3 weeks ago was whether or not this was a simple plat amendment or to view it as a major. I don't want to misquote Mr. Osham. My understanding is
It's minor.
you viewed it as a minor.
No, I don't view it as anything. I view it as your petition.
Okay.
That's a call for you under the subdivision control ordinance as to whether this is a major or minor change, and major or minor plat. And there are different procedures depending upon what the decision of that is, and that's what Nathan and I specifically talked about.
Yep. Minor would mean that we would not need to go through the public notice
That's
process.
right. That's
Yep.
right. It would be ministerial
Correct. Yep.
versus public hearing
Correct.
submission.
So, all the easements are there, they'll remain. And if somebody builds something on them, a fence or whatever, that's theirs, that'll be their problem.
Well, with the easement, they won't be allowed to build a fence.
But if they do and there's access, then they have to, then that's on the homeowner.
Yep, like anyone, they would have
Just
to
like-
remove it, and it's on their dollar to rebuild, correct?
Nathan, do you have one we can read? I have what you gave me. It's pretty much feeling like my nose is in the table. Just saying.
I can send the PDF to blow up, and, yeah, I can try to get a bigger one to your office.
And maybe they need it too, so.
Okay.
Well, I love the idea of cleaning this up. And it won't be the first time some of us in the room have heard this, but Outlot B is still titled, it's given an address to the north.
Yep.
The weeds aren't being taken care of, et cetera, so what's going on with Lot B? Do you know what's going on with Lot B?
I do, I don't represent them, so to speak, but
Well,
I
that's
do know
what-
what's going on.
Yeah,
So that is a gentleman that's 2 houses to the north of that outlot. He is listed of record with the county as being the representative for the HOA, even though it's defunct. That's from years ago.
Right.
And my understanding is that folks in that development have taken turns maintaining that particular lot. Whether or not that's active on going to the town standards, I don't know, but that's one of the difficulties that's created in these developments. If there's no HOA anymore, what's the fallback position? Unfortunately, these covenants years ago didn't.
Well, we have a similar issue with Winding Creek 1.
Yeah.
The pond is not being taken care of by who we would assume should be taking care of the pond.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how we can clean all this up, but legally, Dave, these are two separate things?
They are.
That's a good reminder, Jerry, that anytime a new development comes before you, make sure that you have in those covenants that the fallback as it comes to the town. If the town has to maintain it, then the folks within the development pay for that maintenance.
Yeah, well, we don't, I mean,
Well,
town
that's
doesn't.
part of the language that goes on to the plat document also.
Yeah.
So the thing runs with the land.
Right.
Didn't we determine that this was a minor change that would occur here?
You haven't decided anything about this.
That's the question.
That's
Major or minor?
The minor change was the Quick One gas station.
I thought we already
Discuss this one.
came to the conclusion, or just about to the conclusion that it was a minor change, but
I kinda think it may be a major since it was a park light.
Never was.
Oh,
It was discussed verbally. I went back and looked at the minutes. It was discussed verbally, but there was never a written commitment mandate requirement back in 2009 when this was developed.
And the park dedication was Kiwanis Park for Winding Creek 1 and 2, so that was the developer's contribution to the park system was Kiwanis. So this would have been just a private, whatever, it would have been backyard deal between the people.
I
and
mean,
Beacon Point is part of,
so
Winding Creek, or, the Kiwanis Park.
Also now, but
Yeah.
the developers of Winding Creek, gave that 5-acre park as their park dedication for these two developers. Their actual official park land.
so park and open space, you're saying those are the same thing?
That was this was just the design of the subdivision was just to leave that lot for everybody to share a backyard, basically.
Yeah, well, and then it had the 10-foot path is it still there?
Easement, I should say.
The 10-foot easement that would take everyone to the,
That's gonna go to lot 96.
Yep.
It gets rid of all 4 of the
Yeah.
pieces. So that's a part of this, the 10-foot strip will go to lot 96, which would, is there any reason that we need to turn these into lot 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead of leaving them what they were, or is that for?
we just put revision on there, you mean?
Yeah, I can talk to
Revised.
Stuart and just leave it as lot
Yeah.
92.
I mean, I'd rather just see the lots remain the same for consistency, and then everything's kind of in the full files for these houses as those lot numbers, and it seems to me that it would be wiser to just leave them named, leave the numbers the same, and I know it's nice to have the clarity on the picture to show that these are the 4 you're working on. Is there a need for that, or to change the number?
No, but I disagree with you about the clarity. I think the clarity is greater when, you're combining these.
No, I mean, it's clear, it's nice to see that, which 4 lots are affected, but for the plat amendment, it'd be nice for the numbers in the neighborhood to remain how they
The
were.
neighbors adjacent, yes. The 4 numbers that are comprising the transfer, no.
I mean, couldn't you just put a note on there, revised with the date?
That's what I'm thinking. We can do revised lot 92, revised lot 101, revised lot 96, and revised lot 95. With a parentheses, per Dave's suggestion, I think we can
Because
combine those two.
they're all already developed, and everything in our records should reflect those existing 92, those existing numbers, but I didn't know if that was, what was the protocol, I guess.
Yeah, I can talk to Stuart about just putting parents, we want to go minor lot amendment. and the date.
Revised lot.
Yep, that works. Good idea.
Yeah.
So if I understand this correctly, you're giving more land to these other lots, correct?
Correct.
they're in agreement for this, because then what happens to their taxes, because they're getting more land?
So they already have owned them the past 3 years. What this does, from a public clarity perspective, is it emphasizes when you go into GIS, or if somebody were to pull a survey, that it's not partial R1, partial residential outlot, it's all R1 zone, is what it does. It creates that clarity at the county level, as well as for staff or anyone looking at it.
This was subdivided when they decided to defunct the HOA.
Okay.
This was subdivided, but it never got recorded correctly. So when, the guy on 137th needed a permit, then the flag went up.
Okay.
So what happened here?
So now there's other surrounding lots, is that, why are they not involved, since they're adjacent to it, or is it just to keep consistency of a rectangle, or?
So this dates back to 2020, 2021 neighborhood meeting in a garage. They said, we want to be done with the HOA. Who wants additional land? These 4 folks stepped forward and said, we'll pay for the surveyor. And then that's when the quitclaim deeds happened that I prepared in 2021.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And the people, the other adjacent property owners who allegedly didn't want any, they're good with this too?
Yeah. So I already provided to the town manager and staff a copy of the minutes that were taken in that garage that evening. Has all the signatures of the folks in the development.
Yeah, I hate to have somebody come back in here and say, we didn't get any of this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So who ultimately is responsible for the pond? Everybody's just a handshake and a beer? You do it this week, I'll do it next week, is that?
From what I understand, Mr. Vanderzee, which is where the notices are going for the county, I think they're paying like $25 a year for drainage. For the most part, he's the one that's been taking care of it. That's my understanding. I'm not going to commit him to it. Yeah.
So if there's issues with the pond, he gets the letters?
Correct.
So if we say this is a major change, then we have to have a public meeting. If we say it's a minor, we don't have to have a meeting?
No, you need a meeting. The meeting would be to approve the minor plat revision amendment. If it's not major, if it's major, there'll be notice, there'll be formality. Probably not the same type of formality, but formality nonetheless.
Hey, Bob, you seem to think it should be a major?
I kinda thought that, like if, the lot, 97, it doesn't look like it's part of, getting any of the land, correct?
Correct.
91's not getting any either, I think.
Yep. Yeah, the only 4 are lots 92, 101, 95, and 96, and for the record, they already are the owners of it.
Right.
What this is just it clarifies the plat amendment that's recorded with the county.
Yeah, these 4 people already all own their pieces, but they're closing, so it's already there.
There's no prohibition from them owning it, but from a zoning perspective, this is only zoned outlot, and that's the reason why they can't build on it from the town's perspective. What this does is it clarifies that these are part of a platted lot that's zoned R1. There's no prohibition on these folks owning it outright, which they already do. The issue is how we're going to perceive the ownership of it. Is it partial R1, partial outlot, or are we going to view this lot as entirely R1 now?
And by doing this, the guy can put his fence up and put his pool in his backyard. Without it, he can't.
What does outlot work out to for size? It's not more than an acre, is it?
No.
No, no.
Because
These are about
that invites other problems.
Yeah, no, these are about .3. Yep.
So then would this be ready to take action on in 2 weeks?
Depends on the answer to the first question. Major or minor?
Well, I think probably to eliminate any foreseen questions or problems in the future, we should just call it a major and do the advertising and whatever we have to do and do that route.
And have the remonstrators come in for or against it?
Well, I mean, that way there you can't have somebody down the road saying, well, I never had a chance to protest this or at least, you know, speak my piece. And, from what all I've heard from the past meetings we had is, I doubt if there'll be any remonstrators, but at least give them the opportunity, I think.
I agree.
What does everybody else think?
I agree. Agree.
So we'll call the major.
If that's the case, then we'll probably have to tee it up for January, because that's gonna involve certified mailings and public notice,
Sure.
so.
Sure. But I would just want to make sure, as long as you're cleaning it up, let's do it right, make sure
Okay.
it's all on the books correctly.
So not, lot 96, they're just getting a 10-foot, is there a cement there, is there rocks, is it grass that led to it?
Last time I looked, it was just grass.
Okay.
It is all grass.
But that's all they're getting is that 10-foot?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So lot 96 is getting the 10 feet.
Correct. Lot 95 gets 40 feet. Lot 92 gets the majority of it, and then lot 2 or 101 gets 40 feet as well. Otherwise, we start playing Jenga.
Okay, well, there's no further discussion.
Okay,
Then what has to be done?
we'll get ready for January. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Okay, letters of credit, Summer Wind, Unit 2, performance letter of credit in the amount of $279,870.13 to be pulled on December 10th, 2025 by Town of Cedar Lake. Number 2, Summer Winds, Unit 3, performance letter of credit in the amount of $14,575.48 to be pulled on December 10th, 2025 by the Town of Cedar Lake. Update items, Beacon Point, Unit 6, performance letter of credit in the amount of $133,733.95 to expire on January 27th, 2026. Anything on that, Luke?
Yeah, for both of these, I emailed Schilling a couple of weeks ago asking, what was going on with it, and I think they said they were gonna renew this for another 6 months, just because the timing of it, and where they were at with occupancy, there's just no way they were gonna meet the January 27th deadline, so, it sounds like the town didn't get the, renewal yet, but it should be forthcoming.
Yeah, we got an email from Mr. Slater stating the exact same, that it was at the People's Bank and they were working on getting it here, but he knew it was on the list and he said they were working on getting them submitted for the 6-month term.
Okay, well, just for, because it's on the, update item here, number 2 is Beacon Point Unit 7, performance letter of credit to the amount of $309,673.13 to expire on January 27th, 2026. Okay, that sounds good on those two. I'll open floor now to public comment.
What was our special meeting supposed to be?
It'll be in a minute, Bob.
Oh, okay.
Let me get to this public
I
comment.
didn't have that on my agenda,
It's on the bottom. Should be.
I got an old agenda.
It says the 17th.
It's not on the agenda. That's the public meeting coming up, that's 2 weeks.
That's a regular meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're gonna have a special public meeting after this.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Before you go to the public, what's with Summer Winds? Have we heard anything from
That's
them?
what we're going to, that's the
Okay.
public meeting's about,
Okay, got it.
okay?
Yep.
Just
Hang on a
notice
second.
of the meeting.
Public comment, any public comment? Last call for public comment? Public comment is closed. We're gonna adjourn this meeting and move right into a special public meeting for, Summer Winds. What we need to do is, ratify what, the, decisions the town council made last night in reference to Summer Winds on, authorizing the town to proceed with, pooling the letters of credit, for Summer Winds, Unit 2 and $279,817.13, to be pulled on December 10th, 2025 by the town of Cedar Lake. And Summer Winds Unit Number 3, performance letter of credit in the amount of $14,575.48 to be pulled on December 10th, 2025 by the town of Cedar Lake. Those decisions were made last night.
May I clear up a bit of the chortle?
Pardon?
Can I clean up some of the chortle here?
He's
John, will
gonna
you give me
he's
2
gonna give us
minutes?
some clarity.
I still don't know what's happening.
He wants to give us some clarity on.
Oh,
thing.
yes, please.
I'm the reason for the special public meeting. I asked for it as a consequence of getting ready for the meeting tonight, organizing paperwork, documents, knowing what was discussed and acted upon by the town council last night. We were looking for the letters of credit, irrevocable standby letters of credit for this project, units 2 and 3. We did not have the original in our office, we never do, but many times we have copies. When they're processed fully, we have copies. We did not have copies in our file, so we contacted Cheryl and Monica here in the town hall, and the staff hustled to retrieve our file, locate the letters of credit for each, and came up dead end. What they did find, and they did locate the file, and they retrieved it and they circulated it, what they did find was the introduction letter of People's Bank Officer Dustin Gorlick on each of the 2 letters of credit communications that the People's Bank sent to us here in the town concerning the availability of People's Bank to issue the irrevocable standby letter of credit for the amount certain with the expiration date certain. Only problem is the town did not sign the term sheet. It's a term sheet, essentially, and the letters of credit did not get processed. Here's what is still required, and town was contacted just in the last week, surprisingly, because this sat, asking for the parameters or terms so that the letter that had been approved could be issued and held. The reason that's important is because the town council confirmed your actions last month that in the event there were no construction activities that cured the remaining items to complete on Summer Winds, these parcels that we had folks coming and seeing us and asking for the completion time and the like. Well, we needed to have that information in a letter of credit form before we could use that instrument, which is cash, to full bank, prepare, and do the work of the developer that didn't get done, for which the funds were made available. So the actions of the town council last night were to proceed, ratify the actions that you took in a public meeting, but for which we did not get the other document, information, etc., to the bank so they could issue the letter of credit. Letter of credit, I'll remind you, under the Uniform Commercial Code, is cash. When we're holding one of those, it's a big deal. Here we had 2. So, one final point before motion or consideration, John. This information was here. It was here. It wasn't in the ready sight and vision of our staff, but previous staff who had been here was responsible for and involved in maintaining, monitoring, and processing those instruments for the surety protection to our town. This one didn't get covered.
Who's the previous staff?
Bob, I prefer not to say that.
Okay,
I'll tell you afterwards.
all right.
But anyway,
And Is this enough money for us to cover, all the repairs that need to be done in there?
Yeah,
It is?
yeah. You wanna answer that? You and I talked about this 2 weeks ago.
I believe so. I mean, the list is, I mean, we always keep enough money to, I mean, we never lower or reduce the bonds lower than the outstanding work, so there shouldn't be any problem with completing it. I was under the assumption that at the last meeting that it was discussed that there was gonna be a 6-month extension of the bonds, and then after that, we were gonna pull it, and then obviously, if we didn't receive the new ones by December 10th, then they were to be pulled on. I thought that was the decision by the plan commission.
Did Mr. Lambert tell us he was gonna do that when he was here that time?
Well, they said they were planning on renewing them, yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted a year, and we said maybe 6 months, or
Right,
I think Greg said,
I was under the impression.
Greg said 6 months, you know, 'cause then it
No more
gets
than
started in,
6 months.
yeah.
Right.
But
Which I thought-
but there's been no correspondence with them, or return correspondence, right?
None.
I think that's why we decided on the 10th, because I think Chuck's the one that made the motion.
I was
No, and I.
trying to open up that road because emergency, you know, for,
Right, I mean, I was under the impression that if they didn't provide the new ones that were gonna be approved for 6 months by the 10th, that we were going to,
I think we had to give it the date of the 10th,
correct.
because of the
So now,
timing of the...
what's happening now is they don't have until the 10th to provide a 6-month extension, or, I mean, that's what I guess I'm just looking for clarity.
no, we were pulling it on the 10th. They weren't even here for the meeting.
2 weeks ago. I think a month, at the work session was when Mr. Lambert was here, then 2 weeks later, I don't think there was any, I thought it was reported there was no correspondence.
I think you'll see in the minutes, the excerpt of the minutes for that portion of the public meeting, that the 10th was a full date.
Yeah, and I knew that, but I guess I just, and I don't know who's been in charge of corresponding with them, or did they know they were on the agenda to come to the meeting again, or did anybody?
Yeah,
They were-
Monica's
they
been,
Knew they were on the agenda. Yeah, I just was curious, because I thought by listening to the last
Right.
meeting that was here, that was, the case was that if they were going to renew it, it was only gonna be for 6 months, because we're not gonna do this any longer, but if they didn't come in by the 10th to renew it, then that was the full date.
I think we didn't want to run it into, and I may be wrong, I thought we didn't want to run it into the 17th.
Correct.
I
We
think
did
as well.
that. That's why we had to set,
Yeah.
we had to set a full date because, we would not have had enough time to set a full date at the next meeting. So, a motion was made to, set a full date of December 10th, 2025.
Right,
And that motion was made on both bonds.
correct.
And it was seconded and passed by roll call vote. Then I was, made aware that, they had they were going to, they directed the bank to issue a letter of credit, and then some, caution was thrown at us, or some, shouldn't say caution, but some questions were asked about the situation. And last night, the town council decided that, they were going to pull the bond on December 10th, 2025, which is what we had recommended if they did not, produce, an extended letter of credit.
So
That was my understanding.
So the sudden, need for the meeting now is evident. That's the timing, issue caused it to, accelerate to emergency meeting. Notice was given, agenda was posted. We did the best we could under the circumstances of a sudden unexpected event occurring. And I will ask the, town council and this body at the next public meeting of each to ratify these actions taken on top of that in their meeting.
So, just for clarity, one more time, there has been correspondence with Monica and Lambert?
through emails.
Through emails,
I know
okay.
there was, he hasn't responded
Okay,
before.
I want to make sure.
My correspondence with Mr. Lambert was that he is pulling out of this. He doesn't want to complicate things anymore
Oh.
for Mr. Dinga, so. He is, he's
Well, Tim, you're gonna have almost $300,000 to get it.
Well, yeah, my talking with the developer was that they had every intention of renewing the performance bond, but then, I mean, I don't know, again, it seems like our communication level to people coming to the meetings, I don't know the whole story.
Well, I thought Greg made it very clear to Mr. Lambert, he wasn't gonna get a year, he was gonna get
Correct.
6 months, because that puts us into spring.
And it seemed like everybody was good with that, but then now we changed to.
Well, that's because another 2 weeks had passed and.
Right.
And they were steadfast not removing those blocks. They were steadfast not removing those blocks.
Until the road is finished.
Right.
One question I have is, we pull this and then we go ahead and we complete the project. What happens with the 3-year, maintenance on it?
Well, they're required to post that too. If you decide you aren't getting the money and you need to do so, you can chase that.
But the money should be, for the maintenance, should be in the money we're pulling?
No, they're separate items. Performance is
So
certainly
they'd have
the
to
maintenance,
So they'd have to be legally pursued for more money?
maybe. Now, one of the set-off ways that could occur is that Tim can do the work and not need all the money. Now, then we'll have a problem or a circumstance or a condition like we have with Schilling and Monastery Wood South. And there'd be a rebate for return of a portion of the funds. There's leverage in that, for sure.
And if this gets pulled on December 10th, is the town now gonna be responsible for plowing and maintaining, and we're taking the road over then?
The answer is yes.
Only use the sweeper over there.
So is there any monies, is there any dollars that can be charged for that job, or is that just part of pulling on the bond, or is there, like, since we're taking their money to complete
We
it?
can't double dip.
We're taking it over soon, early.
When a developer comes in and, he puts up, so much money in his bid or pays the town for engineering inspections.
Performance, correct.
Now, how many inspections, is there a number of inspections that covers?
Well, there's 3% of the total is inspection fees, so it covers pretty much all the, it inspects.
So it
Depending on the
normally,
development.
say normally that would take 5 inspections and say, CVal's, up to 10 now. Are the last 5 coming out of our nickels, our pocket, or is that still part of the fees that they pay?
Well, there shouldn't be, I guess there's a couple additional, but I think that most of that is covered in the fee. I don't see anything being excessive in that way, because there's not a ton of inspections, but,
Well, the fee is an estimate of costs for doing so, and if we get it done for less, we're ahead, and if we don't get it for less, it costs more, we eat it. That's how the ordinance is taught.
Or maybe they have to start adding something into these developments to cover if they go into inspection after inspection after inspection. Another one is like Lennar, how many?
right, and that's why once we performed Lennar's, in Lennar's situation, we performed that inspection that they asked for, and then they did nothing with it and needed to redo, so they paid for it. So, in this case, they've done their first inspection, they still got their punch list, they've done some of it, but not all of it. They still have only gotten their, they haven't gotten double extra inspections at this point. And if they do, that's what we dealt with Lennar. We did make them, if they wanted a second one, they had to agree, which they did here, to pay for it. So we tried our best to deal with that, but we're just gonna be taking on, by doing this, we're taking on that extra maintenance and taking care of it for this winter. It's the worst time possible for us to do it too, because we can't do anything for this 4 to 6 month period anyway, so I just don't know
Is there
the win here.
Is there a final coat of blacktop anywhere over there?
Just that first 50 feet of the entrance, that's it.
Okay, so we need a motion to, ratify the town council's actions of, December 2nd, 2025 on this matter.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by, Mr. Becker to ratify that,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Okay, that concludes it, I guess.
I had a question for Luke.
Go ahead.
The Outlot B, Winding Creek 2, Mr. Viss said, somebody's paying the taxes on it and the stormwater fees. Is that what I heard him say?
Yes.
It's had a stormwater fee.
Stormwater fees?
Stormwater, yeah, that's right.
Okay. No
But
taxes, just a stormwater fee.
I don't wanna speak out of the term, but I truly believe that outlot along, I know for sure the Winding Creek one, and Winding Creek 1 does not have a tax, it's not paying taxes or being
Right.
charged taxes. And I think that this one was similar. I
Well,
don't think it was on the tax.
The fact
for
the fact that somebody's maintaining it is a little concerning, kinda like Winding Creek 1. And I know Mr. Recupito's trying to track down the,
Yeah, he's had some contact with
Yeah.
the son,
Yeah.
so
I mean, not having control of that kinda makes it out of control.
And they're paying a county stormwater fee, not a town water fee. Correct?
Well,
I thought he said,
he said he was paying $25.
that's a county
I
fee.
thought he said a stormwater fee. That's what I
Yeah.
thought he had said.
I'm pretty sure that neither one of these, because I was worried about them going up for tax sale a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 'cause we've talked about this for a while.
Yeah, we've started trying to do something, and it was
Yeah.
like chasing a rabbit around the circle, but I did find that out, so there was no chance of us losing it to somebody buying it at tax sale.
We don't give it to them. They're
Which is what happened over there south of 142nd.
August Oaks,
No, that neighborhood just north of Hawkinson's Dairy Farm. Remember that one way in the back by the tracks? Yeah, guy bought it at tax sale, the whole pond, these kids were using it for a motocross track.
Yeah, and
They
August
were having a
Oaks,
great time.
they bought August Oaks Park on tax sale.
Oh, yeah, August Oak, yeah.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, where's our